Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on a beautiful spring morning. Isn't it gorgeous, Billy?
It's absolutely.
Yep.
It's perfect. Only California.
Only California. My first guest is Billy, let me get this right, Kornfeld. He's with the Camelot Moving and Storage, and a longtime member of the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, a business entrepreneur, a company that's very entrepreneurish here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fred. Good to be here.
So tell us about moving. You're moving storage. I know you do a lot of local stuff, right? So you help people within the Santa Clarita Valley and the local area. Tell me about out of the area.
Okay. Through continued demand, we've gone further and further. We started in '86. Ultimately, in '89, we jumped into interstate work because just the continued demand for it. People asked us to go further and further. So now we go all over the country, all 48 contiguous states.
So people actually do move out of the Santa Clarita Valley?
They do.
Oh, man, I thought they just moved here.
They do come back, too. So.
Very good.
When they wise up.
Now, are you associated with a van line, or do you do it yourself? Tell me more about your association when you do interstate.
We are independent. We're not affiliated with any van line. And the reason we've always foregone that opportunity is because our customers come back to us time after time. They want us to handle their things. And if we went into a van line situation, we would be subject to giving our shipments to contractors and subcontractors in their fleet. And our customers count on us coming back. They want us. They even ask for our same guys coming back. And so in order to be able to fill that request and keep our standards up to our standards and keep control over that, we keep it in-house and we do it ourselves. We take it ourselves all the way wherever they're going. I
appreciate what you said. You've been presented that opportunity, and so I like that language, because there's been opportunities because your company is so well positioned as a professional organization. So let's talk about moving and storage. Let's talk about the storage side of it. I moved a few times in the past, and storage was important because in one case, we downsized and needed to store stuff for a few years until we went and upsized again, or I should say right-sized, right? So tell me about the storage side of it.
Yes. Storage is pretty comprehensive. There are a couple different needs for it at times. Sometimes it's perfectly related to moving. People don't always get the keys to their new house the same day that they turn over their previous living situation, and they need storage. Sometimes it's just for a night, sometimes a couple nights or a few weeks. And depending on what their needs are, we always fill that requirement with whatever the situation is. But way beyond that, people have other unique situations for storage. We have individuals that are here in college, for example, at CalArts, COC, and other, even CSUN and all around, and they go back home out of state and they need summer storage, or vice versa. So we accommodate student storage. We also have professionals that have projects. Sometimes it's internships. They go away for a couple of years. We have clients all over the world, really. Italy, Germany, in Europe, in the Far East, in the Middle East, client in Egypt, and they have needs for a couple of years of storage. And it goes on and on. We have military individuals going for tours of duty. I've got one individual who's gone 3 times, and each time we pick up his things, we store it for him right inside our warehouse.
Why pay rent for 8 months while you're, why pay rent that long,
For sure, for sure. And then they come back and we deliver it out to them, and every time he'd call me up, I'd be worried about him. He's going again. But he's back for good.
Good. So tell us more about your new projects. I know that there's a big change in the van line industry, or in your industry, where you have to change your trucks, having to do something with emissions.
Yes, yes. It's a California-based requirement. We've already started. It's going to go on for a number of years into the future as far as the requirements getting up to speed. We hope to have it all accomplished within a couple of years. And in fact, we're already ahead of the boat. We've already launched our newest truck. There are strict requirements for the newer engines. They're diesel still, but they have onboard computers that monitor the emissions, and it's a beautiful system. And our first truck has already been coast to coast a couple of times.
Oh, very good. So any tips? We have a minute or so. Tell us a couple tips if you're moving.
There are a lot of tips. Actually, if you go on our website, you can get some super tips and blogs. Do's and
that website is?
CamelotMovers.com.
CamelotMovers.com.
Yes, yes. But we can do as little or as much as people require. Sometimes they want to take on a measure of it themselves. They want to box their own things, and then they comes down to crunch time and they're out of time and they haven't got it all done. They panic, and we come in and finish it out for them.
That's the one nice thing. You do as much as you can. Because I've moved a few times, and my wife is an expert at it, and not that she wants to be, but you do as much as you can. But then the last 24 hours when you're pulling your hair out, it's nice to say, look, bring in a few individuals a little bit early the night before, the day of, to just help me to do the finishing touches. The stress off the day is so tremendous because it's such a stressful day to begin with. And the other thing I want to say, because I have moved a few times, is have the experts come in and help you the day of so you can help with the unpacking professionally on the other end, because that's kind of fun for the first day and a half or so. Not after that, but the first day and a half. But when you're frantic, you miss that joy, and I've experienced both.
It's a very insightful point. I'm going to have my customers call you for tips, Fred.
Because you want to enjoy the experience of a new home.
Absolutely.
You're excited, but if you're pulling your hair out, it really makes it not fun.
Our goal is to get everything in place, get the bed set up so they can relax the first night in their new home.
Thanks for being a part of the Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for being on our show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Fred.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Camelot Moving and Storage. Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment of the Santa Cruz Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on AM 1220 KHTS.